Crypto Kids, in this video, I want to tell you how crypto and Bitcoin changed my life as an 18-year-old. As a kid, I wasn't a fan of all the subjects in school. I was only a fan of business, drama, and geography. And the rest of the subjects, I didn't like them because I didn't feel as though the information was relevant. I didn't know how I could apply it in my life. I loved media, I loved acting, I loved doing theater, and none of the other subjects sort of felt applicable or useful to me in real life. So I couldn't concentrate in school, and I wanted to find a way that I could start a business around a theme or an industry that I felt passionate about. And that would allow me to not have to worry so much about school, but focus on doing those businesses instead, where I would work hard. I would have to work very hard, but much harder than I originally thought. But I would be doing something fun and I would be doing something that I felt would be productive. And crypto was the answer. So, guys, we'll get into that. We'll go into my story a little bit. And then I want to talk to you about Bitcoin and why crypto is the biggest opportunity of your lifetime right now, alongside AI. And I hope it will be a cool, different video that you will enjoy. So it all started in late 2019, early 2020. I was doing musical theater, but then the pandemic was around the corner, so I had to slowly pivot into voice acting, and I had to go full voice acting because all of the theaters were shut down. In musical theater, I wasn't making so much money, but I was doing it more for fun. It was consuming a lot of my time. At that point, I thought I would be an actor and go to acting school and end up becoming an actor. But I knew that it would be very complicated. I would have to do so many auditions and probably get rejected 1,000 times before securing a role, which may end up flopping. And you guys know how the Hollywood business works. It's really, really tough to break into. And I did think that that would be the case. And my parents sort of had to sit with me and say, hey, look, I know you're good at acting and we know that you love acting, but will this be a sustainable career for you? Probably not. You'll have to be very lucky. And I had to accept that. And with voice acting, I was able to make more money, but obviously nothing substantial. I think I only saved up like $2,000, $3,000, and I used $2,000 of that $3,000 to set up a failed sneaker business selling shoes. It didn't work out. It wasn't profitable. But yeah, I was stuck with $1,000. I was in school doing subjects that I didn't enjoy, and I was stuck. I didn't know how to do something and that could set me free in the way that I would work very hard on what I love, but not have to focus on the traditional education system. And I was stuck on how I could do that. Obviously, when you're 12, 13 years old, your opportunities are far more limited. I went on YouTube, as everybody does. I went on YouTube. I used to have a Minecraft YouTube channel. I wasn't quite successful with it. But yeah, YouTube, I never thought that YouTube would be what I'd end up doing because I tried doing YouTube when I was younger and it didn't work out. So, anyways, I went on YouTube to search for other sort of side hustles like e-commerce and Amazon FBA and whatever, like those common things that were very popularized in the middle 2010s, but sort of died off into the 20s. And randomly, I found a video from Raoul Pal, and he spoke about how Ethereum can go from a few $100s to a few $1,000. That intrigued me, that caught my attention. I clicked on the video and I fell in love with the whole concept of cryptocurrency almost at first sight. So I went into Ethereum, then I learned about what is cryptocurrency. Okay, what are different cryptocurrencies? What is Bitcoin? It felt so cool, so incredible. I didn't get the whole it's going to replace the financial system part of it yet, but there was this gut feeling inside of me that said, "Hey, this is the next big thing." And nobody in my friend group, right? Nobody that my parents knew was into this, and I just felt like I discovered gold. I felt like this is what's going to change the world. So every day after school for about 6 months, I was coming back home from school in my lunch breaks. I wouldn't spend time with friends. I would just study crypto and understand what crypto is. And in that 6 month journey, I figured out that there's something called technical analysis, where you can actually take mathematics, and for the first time, unlike what they taught me in school, you can take the mathematics you learn, apply it onto charts, extrapolate data, and figure out with probabilities where the price of different assets can go to. So I started to focus more into technical analysis and teaching me myself more TA through books and through YouTube, and began demo trading. in demo trading, I was getting very good, and I showed my parents that, look, hey, I know you're concerned about me spending a lot of time outside of school doing this and not really picking up any sports or not studying more. Like, I know you've been worried, but hey, look, the results are pretty good. So why don't you let me show you my analysis, look at the different cryptos that I think can go up, and you can start a crypto exchange account, use the capital that I've earned, and invest it on my behalf. And it took some time to convince them, and then we actually missed out on Dogecoin because I said that it would like go up a lot, and yeah, at that point they still didn't. They weren't so sure about crypto, so they were reluctant to open an account. But yeah, a few weeks later, Dogecoin went like 100x. It is what it is. We missed out on that. But after that case study, my parents got convinced, and my dad opened an exchange account. And finally, I was able to allocate some capital indirectly into cryptocurrencies. There was a few successful trades that I've done that I was proud of, and I got into a few projects early on in altcoin season of 2021, and I started making some good money, especially for a 13-year-old. I was so happy. I was doing what I loved, and I was making money on the side, exactly what my dream was. However, the big question was, will this sustain? Will this persist? Can I make enough money to allow me to not go through the traditional route of going to university, getting a job that I don't really think I will enjoy? Like, can this become my main thing? Obviously, I was very young and I didn't have a business. I was sort of trading, and trading has its ups and downs. And I was profitable at the end of the day, but was this something that could sustain my life over the course of the next few years? And I just didn't know the answer for that until one day I was watching one of Da Vinci's videos, and I was watching Carl, James Tomei's, James Crypto Guru, Crypto Jack. Like, they were all people that I was fans of, and I'm still fans of, by the way. And one day I was watching a Da Vinci video, and he said, "Tomorrow I have a meetup. It's the weekend. I have a meetup tomorrow. Come on down and meet me, and we'll talk about crypto." I was like, perfect. I just turned 14. I told my parents, hey, like, I'm gonna go to this event. They're like, yeah, be careful, and just yeah, again, they were sort of more invested into the idea of crypto, but they weren't so convinced of it. Obviously, crypto had a different image back then compared to today, where you have traditional finance all involved, etc., etc. But I went to the event. I was the youngest person there, and because I was the youngest person, I was asking a lot of questions, and people kept on answering me. They didn't just disregard me because they saw that I was young, and I was passionate, and I genuinely wanted to learn. So a lot of the people there, they were willing to give me information, and I went up to the panelists, which were the Carls and the Da Vincis and the Chris's, and to my surprise, they also really were very helpful. James shared a lot of his content with me for free. So did Tone, and he recommended me a bunch of different things to look into and study. And I was able to take that information and go and improve my technical analysis a lot, which benefited my trading a lot. It was a very significant improvement, and I'm very grateful to them for doing that. And then Da Vinci, he taught me how the financial system was corrupt. He showed me a few books that I read. Creature of Jekyll Island went into the how the Federal Reserve was basically created to bail out the automaker industry, and how they printed a bunch of money out of thin air by issuing war bonds they couldn't pay off, so they issued more bonds, and how it was a Ponzi scheme. And then the whole gold standard issue, the tulip bubble, so on and so forth, financial crisis. Like, I went into that whole big rabbit hole thanks to Da Vinci, and understood Bitcoin's importance. Now, Bitcoin will go to, in my opinion, millions of dollars because the financial system will eventually collapse. That's what Da Vinci taught me. So instead of taking profits in my trading and altcoin journey, instead of taking profits into USD, I started taking profits into Bitcoin, which then obviously, through doing that consistently over the past 4 years now, has given me very good returns because I've been doing it consistently. And compound interesting really does increase the amount of returns you make by a significant amount. Okay, so that was Da Vinci. And then Carl, I told Carl about my prior experience in musical theater and in voice acting, and I told him how I still want to be an actor one day. And I really admired YouTube and how they made YouTube videos, how they traded at the same time, how they invested at the same time. It all seemed fun, and it all seemed amazing, and it was just everything that I wanted. And Carl said, "Hey, why don't I help you make your YouTube channel where you can practice your acting, increase your knowledge in trading because you'll have to be forced to learn every single day, put out daily content, and that will refine your knowledge a lot. And it will also help you grow an audience, right? And by growing an audience, you'll be able to do conferences like this, speak at conferences, and on top of that, make passive income through doing partnerships and different sponsorships. And then you can take that money and obviously put it back into Bitcoin, so on and so forth. It's something that you want. Why don't I help you grow your channel? Because I've done YouTube. I've been very successful at it, and I can help you get there. I was quite insecure because my Minecraft channel didn't do well, and I thought maybe, okay, yeah, Carl could help me. So, anyways, we started doing that, and he helped me. He guided me in YouTube. It took a long time, obviously, to build an incredible, beautiful audience of 60,000 crypto kids, which is, to me, it's still like it's shocking. And I want to thank every single one of you for watching my daily videos. I'm forever grateful to you guys because making videos and just talking about what my analysis is, it's sort of like it's just yeah. To me, sometimes it doesn't make sense, but I'm very, very grateful. So I've been doing that for the past 4 years. And doing daily content, just refining my knowledge, helped my trading a lot more than what I originally imagined. Like it did help a bit in the start, but doing it for 4 years consistently has a much bigger of an impact than what anybody can think of. And it's all about compound interesting, right? The more you do something consistently, just like buying Bitcoin consistently, going to the gym, making videos, like it all compounds over time. Nothing happens overnight. But on top of helping me with my trading, it happened with my, it helped with my investment portfolio, making good investments, better investments, timing the cycles for the long term. It helped with that. It helped me connect with a lot of projects and a lot of founders to invest in their startups early on, get opportunities for advising companies to become bigger and better and do things in the correct way. I've been very grateful to advise a couple of companies to help them in marketing and go to a route to market. And all things about crypto, traditional companies that wanted to go into crypto but didn't really know about crypto, was able to help them. What else did I do? I did private jet chartering, yacht chartering, and F1 management for a brief period of time, which was also like just a cool experience overall. God, I mean, I've spoken at many conferences, which I really love doing so. Like, it's just a privilege for me. A lot of conference speaking, and yeah, I mean, the channel brought having an audience of you guys, wonderful crypto kids, brought on so many cool opportunities that I just need to like I can if I think more and more will come. It's just it's late at night and my brain is like very tired, so I can't think of everything. But there's just been so much. There's been so many crazy stuff that I never thought would have happened, like going to F1, for example, in the paddock and meeting F1 drivers. Like these things were just crazy stuff that I never thought would have ever happened. And it's all thanks to you guys that watch and support the content on a daily basis, and I'm incredibly grateful. So thank you all so much. And my vision for CryptoKid is very big. It has a very bright future, and that's all I'll say for now. But I'm very excited for all the things that are about to come up for CryptoKid. So keep on watching and keep on staying tuned on the content. But yeah, fast forward to 4 years, thanks to Bitcoin, I've been able to hedge myself against inflation, make a compounded amount of income on my Bitcoin investments, make money from altcoins, from my trading, and then whatever passive income I made from advisories, from helping businesses, from speaking at conferences, from my partnerships and sponsorships on the CryptoKid channel, like all of that, I just funneled that into Bitcoin, and I still to this day save as much of the money as I make as possible, and just live with what I can live with, and that's the whole Bitcoiner mentality. But yeah, um, I'm now, after graduating from high school about 4 months ago, I can do what I love. Exactly the dream I had, I can live it. I was watching Da Vinci, Chris, and Carlin. Now I can do the same thing, and it feels crazy. And I'm not forced to go through that traditional educational route that I didn't really want to go through. Maybe at some point I will go to university, but I'll only go to learn the skills and learn the topics that I'm just passionate about, like neuroscience and psychology. I would love to learn about more, and acting, obviously. But I wouldn't want to go just to learn a few set of skills that I wasn't so interested about, and then get a job that I don't really like. that to me is not functional or practical. Like I want to go to learn about things that I'm curious about, right? So maybe I will go later on down the line, but I don't have to go. And that's the beauty. And that's all thanks to Bitcoin being the heart of the nuclear power reactor, fueling all of these different things. It is all thanks to Bitcoin. And over the next 15 to 20 years, by continuing with hopefully what I do, I can just put most of what I have into Bitcoin, and through compounding that over 10, 15 years, that will build the generational wealth, which you can then pass on to your kids and their kids, so on and so forth. And I want to build better and more, better, big, better, and I can't speak, better, bigger businesses that can help people and inspire young people to easily be able to invest into the markets and save and hedge themselves against inflation. Like those are some of the ideas that I have. But right now, my baby is CryptoKid, and I want to make sure that CryptoKid is becomes as successful as it can possibly be, right? I want to grow this audience to as much as we can grow it and have so many crypto kids that know about trading, that understand the markets and can navigate through crypto in the best way possible. My throat is now dry. I need to drink some water. But yeah, what else do I need to say? Well, obviously, like if you want to do a similar thing, then finding what you like is very important, right? I think the first lesson is to find what you like, and you can only do that through trying different things. After you find what you like, you need to find how you can monetize it to make a passive income and to sustain your life. And then three, after you make your passive income, you need to funnel it into assets. Well, at least that's what I did, right? Always do what you want to do. But what I did was I put it into assets like Bitcoin that compounds over time. Um, and it's high yielding. It's a high yielding asset. It hedges against inflation and monetary debasement. And I'm willing to hold it for the next 10, 15 years. That will give me generational wealth based off of my own projections. So that's the way to go. And the more consistently you can do something, it's going to have so many hardships in the way, but the more consistent and persistent you are, the more successful you will become. And I mean, I'm still at the beginning of my journey. I'm still looking forward to everything that's going to happen, hopefully. With crypto, crypto will grow so much. And I think there's so much more abundance to come our way. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that was interesting. If it was, destroy the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next video very soon. Take care, and as always, bye bye.